Welcome to the Action Points.
Greetings, fellow members of the Esoteric Order of Gamers. It's time for an Action Points episode, a very, very special Action Points episode because... yes! Who's
I'm
this?
here.
It's Will!
Hello.
I'm Peter, also known as the Universal Head. You may have seen Will in a few battle reports over the years. That's because we've been playing games together for quite a few years, haven't we?
30 odd.
30 odd?
Probably more.
Yeah, we met when we were like 13.
Actually, a lot more.
13?
More like 40.
40, yeah. Well, that, yeah. And we were probably playing games pretty soon after that, playing Dungeons and Dragons or something back when we were...
Yes, that's where I met you.
Yes. So we have known each other for a long time. We also played in bands together for many years. Will is an excellent bass player. I'm a so-so drummer.
False modesty.
I know. So we spent a lot of time together, and I hope that comes across in our battle reports, where we like to have a bit of banter and enjoy ourselves and have a laugh. And usually rules fidelity comes a far second.
Oh yes. Fun first, fidelity second.
So today we're going to talk about some of the stuff that's been played around here, some of the miniatures I painted this month, and also some of the games that are coming out or have been announced. And of course it was Gen Con in Indianapolis in August, so a few new things were announced. But first, let's talk about the miniatures I got painted this month.
Now let's just reflect on that for a moment. He painted all of this last month.
Yeah.
So out here I think we've got the characters from Scythe.
Yes.
And who are these people?
They're from the new edition of Runebound. All the characters from that, plus a few from the expansion Unbreakable Oaths.
Okay. And here is Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc.
Jean d'Arc.
Yes, Time of Legends Joan of Arc by Mythic Games. I really want to get into this as quickly as possible because it's quite a daunting job, but I've painted enough figures now for the first two scenarios, especially the second one, Battle of Crazy, has quite a lot of figures in it, and we've just done a battle report.
We have, and all of these figures are in it. And these are not big figures. They're quite small. That's difficult to paint at that kind of scale. I can attest to that.
Well, they're a little fiddly, but they don't take too long to paint.
No, it's a mass job. But look, there's still lots of cavalry. I hate cavalry.
Yeah, the horses can be a little bit of a pain in the neck to paint, I've got to say.
It's 2 figures in one. In that case, 4 figures in one.
Yeah. I've said this in the battle report, but if you use a little bit of blue tack on the base, you can blue tack that onto the base like that, and it keeps it on the base. Otherwise, they'll be all over the place when you're moving them on the board.
What about all this terrain? Where's this from?
Well, this is from Warcry, and we've also done a Warcry battle report as well.
Yeah, that was fun.
Which was Iron Golems versus Night Haunt. And I managed, before Will got here, because usually there's a frenzy of painting and preparation before Will arrives. He usually comes a few times a year, but you haven't been here since, October last year?
Yeah, first time I've been here all year.
It's been ages.
2019, the gaming desert.
I know, it's been, and the fans have been clamouring.
Clamouring!
Where is Will?
Where's Will? Where's Will?
I can't stand Peter anymore. We need Will. So I managed to very quickly paint the terrain from Warcry, also one of the war bands, which are the Iron Golems, and then I got the cards for the Night Haunt, so we could use that in that game. And we were both really impressed with it, weren't we?
Yeah, it was excellent. Really good game.
What do you think there was about Warcry that made it special from the usual Games Workshop stuff?
For those of you who've watched anything from us before have probably become quite jaded with the continual abuse by me, in particular, of the Warhammer roll to hit, roll to wound, roll to save.
Yeah.
I got that wrong.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, see, I still can't remember it.
Yeah.
And in Warcry they've dispensed with it and replaced it with a system that originally came from Blood Bowl, I believe, where you just compare your roll against the resilience,
Strength versus toughness.
and you come out, you hit on a 4, 5 or 6 or a 5 or 6, and it's really simple, it's really quick, and it's a much better system.
So there are basically 3 different things you can roll depending on whether your strength is higher than the person's toughness, equal to it, or lower. And then you've got 3 variations. You hit on a 3 to 5 and a critical hit on a 6. and then it goes down to just hitting on a 5 and doing critical on a 6. So 3 different possibilities, very easy to remember, and it's fast.
Yeah, it's a much better system.
So we were really impressed with Warcry. I hope you enjoyed the battle report, which I'll bring out very soon, and shows that I think that's a fantastic game. We'll be playing a lot more of it. So that was... I can't believe I painted this much in a month.
I know, it's extraordinary.
I've been blowing myself away with this.
The head.
The head!
It's a thing of beauty all by itself.
Yeah, but when it comes down to it, stuff like this is really easy to paint. It doesn't take very long. Basically, I undercoated these in black, then I gave it a heavy dry brush of a dark grey, and then a light dye brush of light grey, like Celestra grey. I did the wood separately, of course. And then after you've done all that, give it a good old wash with camo shade. I used to give it a greeny kind of algae kind of version. No, not algae. Lichen.
Yes, mould, but
yeah.
Probably lichen.
And that works really well. So you can give it a few washes. That'll bring out all the detail. Maybe then another little light dry brush. And of course on the metal areas, you can just paint those metal, or heavy dry brush them metal, and then give them a wash with a dark brown ink.
It's all so simple, isn't it? There's about 18 procedures in there you just described.
No, but none of the important thing is, none of them are meticulous in detail.
Yes, just slap it on.
Slap it on. When you're painting the metal, it doesn't matter if it goes a bit over on the stone and everything. So there's not all that meticulous detail. Whereas if you're painting something like
a house painting brush,
that's a little bit more meticulous.
That's require a little more. There's a beautiful chainmail on those figures. They're really, really good.
Yeah, the chainmail's great, isn't it?
Yeah, it's best.
It's like individually linked.
Yeah, it does look like that.
Yeah, they're crazy over there at Games Workshop Studios. Of course, everything's incredibly spiky. The opportunities for serious damage. I mean, really, if you left that on the floor,
yes, oh,
that'd go right through your foot, wouldn't it?
It would.
I mean, it's solid enough to go right through your foot. So don't leave your Warcry scenery on the floor when you're running around. Don't let your children damage themselves or yourself.
Don't
I
let
mean,
children
look at this.
touch it. Yeah, again.
It's just, ow! That hurt! See, doing that hurts!
Pointy.
That's beautiful. Little bell tower here, which is very nice. Great terrain, great game. So, there we go. That's the miniatures for this month. What about the games? Well, I've already told you Joan of Arc we've been playing. I've had a few games of it as well beforehand, and I think it's great. It's a really simple system, but there's just so much to discover in there as well in the expansions, because you can have historical games and fantasy games in it as well.
Interesting concept.
There are large monsters, and very soon there'll be wave 2 of that coming out, so I'll be getting a siege expansion for it.
Well, that's fun.
Yep, it's got castle walls and siege things.
Excellent.
It's also, there's the Apocalypse one, which has got the 4 riders of the Apocalypse.
How do you defend against those?
Very badly. I don't know. Joan of Arc comes in.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, but you've got people on the holy side as well, so you've got angels and things like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's holy, unholy armies fighting each other,
Well, poor peasants are down here going, help me,
yes.
help me.
The peasants are dying horribly. In fact, if you want to grab that box over there, Will.
This one?
Yeah, that one.
This big cardboard one?
Yep. I mean, I showed this on the unboxing, but I think it's worth showing again. And this isn't the legendary dragon, which apparently is like, the wingspan's this big. It's huge. But, take this.
Well, let's put it in context.
Yeah.
That's large.
I mean, look at that.
Intimidated anybody?
Just a bit. I mean, you'd need that entire army just to scratch it.
Blows them away with a flap of its wings.
Yeah. It'd be like that scene at the start of The Lord of the Rings, where he gets the mace.
Yes.
Or whacks them and just, 500 people go.
This would be like that.
Beautiful.
Yes. Who's going to be the brave warrior that takes that Hydra on?
Yes. Well, we'll find out eventually. We'll get around to painting it. So Joan of Arc is fantastic. As I said, we've already talked about Warcry, which is, I reckon the best thing Games Workshop has done for ages. They're really, really listening to feedback and doing some good stuff. Also, we've done battle reports this weekend of Hellboy, the board game. Which is great, isn't it? Remember Hellboy?
Yeah. It's all a bit of a blur of figure games with slightly different game mechanics. Hellboy, yes, I remember Hellboy, that was good.
See, this is the problem when Will comes over, I say, we've got all these great new games to play, and he has to learn all the rules straight away.
Yeah, so you see these monthly reports, I'm looking at, everyone's thinking, look at all those great games, I'm looking at it going, think of all the rules summaries I'm going to have to absorb.
Oh, Will. Poor Will.
It's a terrible life.
Terrible. Whereas all I have to do is paint 300 miniatures.
And make the rule summary.
And make the rule summary. Unbelievable. So, Hellboy, yes, that was great. What else did we play? Claustrophobia 1643.
Yeah, that was really good.
That's a really good game. We played that. So we've got film battle reports for all of these. There was another one, wasn't there? We did 5. Oh, I've done another fantastic video, which I hope you enjoy, of me walking around showing you all the games from my collection in this room.
There's a lot more than you can see behind you.
There's more over there. And we just talk about them. So that should be quite fun. And hopefully we'll squeeze in a couple more battle reports.
Oh yes, we will.
Before you leave.
Luke, use the first player marker, Luke. Trust me, Luke. Thanks, Luke Dennis.
Thanks for supplying power to the Esoteric Order of Gamers, John Rosenlau.
Art, wherefore art thou, Art Silverio?
Soft, what donation breaks from yonder Patreon?
'Tis art. Thank you, Art.
I met a gamer from an antique land who said, "Two vast and trunkless legs of stone stand in the desert. Near them, on the sand, half sunk, a shattered visage lies, whose frown and wrinkled lip and sneer of cold command tell that its sculptor well those passions read, which yet survive, stamped on these lifeless things, the hand that mocked them, and the heart that fed. And on the pedestal these words appear. My name is Jose Thomas Viegas Conduto, King of Kings. Look upon my patronage, ye mighty, and despair. Nothing beside remains. Round the decay of that colossal wreck, boundless and bare, the lone and level sands stretch far away."
Ah, Mr. Dale. Andrew, isn't it?
Lovely to see you. Please,
Please, take a seat. Can we offer you a drink? This is a very, very important occasion.
You may be wondering why we've asked you here.
Well, I think it's time that we invited you here to the inner sanctum of the Esoteric Order of Gamers to congratulate you on your ascension. Mr. Dale, thank you. To congratulate you on your ascension to the status of Knight of the Esoteric Order.
And to thank you for your kind input to the workings of the Order, which are esteemed and most valuable.
Indeed. So,
Here's to you.
here's to you, Mr. Andrew Dale. And thank you.
Thank you.
Did you hear about John Barker?
John Barker, yes, I did hear about him. He's new, isn't he?
Yes, he's joined the Order.
Ah, at what level?
Knight, no less.
Knight level. Have you sent him a marker?
Not yet, we're waiting to see what his metal is.
Perhaps we should send him out on a job. What's appropriate? War of the Ring? Too early?
Maybe we should try something more entry level.
Ticket to Ride then.
Ticket to Ride, a perfect choice.
Perfect.
Let's see how you go with that one, John Barker.
Yes.
And thank you for joining the Order.
Oh, thank you, John.
Now, let's talk about games that have been released or announced in August, some of the new things. And the first one I'm going to mention is called Sleeping Gods, and it's by Ryan Laukat. Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. And he is the same designer and illustrator who made that game I Bought You, which is Above and Below.
Oh, yeah, that's a great game.
Yeah.
My kids love that. And in fact, we liked it so much we bought the sequel as well.
Near and Far.
Near and Far, yes. It's a really good game.
I haven't played Near and Far yet, but I played Above and Below and really liked it. So tell us about it, because you know more about
So
This is above and below.
above and below. Yes, you have a character each, and you're placing actions on various things you can do during a turn to advance yourself through the game, and a lot of it is going down underground, and you then, when you go underground, you pick up a book and you read stories from the book.
Yep.
And you get various options to choose at the end of each story, depending on how many points you've assigned, how many people you've sent down, and so on. And the whole objective is to build up a set of cards up the top, and whoever runs up with the most points at the end wins. It's a very simple mechanic, but it's lots of fun as a game. And if you've got kids, mine are 13, 11 and 9, it's really good reading practice for them, because they have to read out the stories, and that's always a challenge.
No.
Yeah, so it's lots of fun.
Well, this one, the Kickstarter ends in just a couple of days, so go over and check it out.
What's it called again?
It's called Sleeping Gods.
Okay.
You should go have a look.
I should.
Yeah. But it's the same kind of thing. It's got the book of maps kind of thing, where all the maps are in a lovely book. There's like 36 maps or something.
But that's how near and far works.
Yeah, but they're all linked together, and these are like islands, and you're on a ship going on an expedition to all these mysterious islands, and there's like leviathans underneath the water,
Of course.
that you're chasing after. So it's probably a bit of Moby Dick in there as well, a bit of Jules Verne. It feels like a bit Jules Verne to me. It's got all the storybook and everything, and the artwork is fantastic. I love the style of the artwork. As soon as I saw it, I just thought, must have. Looks so beautiful. But amazingly, he illustrates it himself as well as designing. I mean, I wish I could do that.
Sickeningly talented people.
Yeah, it makes me sick. Anyway, so go check it out and be quick, because, as I said, only a couple of days to go on that Kickstarter, Sleeping Gods. Gen Con, Fantasy Flight brought out a few new things. We haven't played many Fantasy Flight games lately, have we? And I've been a little bit hard on them, I think, because it's just feeling a little bit commercial, some of the stuff they're doing. And that opinion wasn't changed by the release of a new living card game called Marvel Heroes or something, or Marvel...
Another franchise.
Yeah, they've got the Marvel license now, so they're doing Marvel stuff. So, I mean, they've done Lord of the Rings card game and the Arkham Horror card game, and like this one, they are co-op games, cooperative. So it could be okay, but it also looks a bit simpler, because, they want a wide market for this one, because it's Marvel stuff. So I must admit, I saw it and went, Also, superheroes.
You're not the target market for a game like that.
Absolutely, I'm not the target market. So
The game collection.
yeah.
I mean, they're looking for somebody who's maybe less involved in gaming and needing to get into gaming.
Yeah, possibly. And to him, a cooperative deck building game would be quite
Novel.
interesting and novel. Yeah. So yeah, fair enough for that. The other one, you'll love this. Another Arkham Horror game.
Oh god, the horror!
And this one is supposedly a shorter version. It's much shorter.
Well, that'd be good.
Yeah, but the idea is that it sort of is more combat focused and more like remember in Arkham Horror you go around and investigate, and at the end you'd fight the big bad.
Yes.
Yeah, this is basically just the fighting bit kind of thing, but with some, running around the board getting stuff before you have the fight. So it's supposed to be like a shorter, more focused version of Arkham Horror.
Well, that's probably sensible, because I think we played that a couple of times and it was an epic
Yeah.
every time.
Well, did you know there was a new version of it?
No.
Yeah, so, it was only recently that they did Arkham Horror 3rd edition, I think it's 3rd edition. And they changed some of the mechanics and tightened it up and everything. Instead of the one big board, they have different locations joined together in different ways and that kind of thing.
Right.
I didn't get it, because I've got Arkham
got
Horror,
too much Arkham Horror.
Eldritch Horror, Mansions of Madness, just, sort of, there's a lot. So they announced that. What else? New stuff for Keyforge. I'm not really interested in Keyforge as a game. So yeah, nothing that blew me away. I'm hoping to get to Gen Con next year. Wouldn't it be amazing if we could both go to Gen Con?
Well, yeah, I've never been.
No, neither have I.
So Indianapolis, did you say?
Indianapolis, yeah.
I'll have to see if I can arrange a business trip.
Oh, I just happened to have a job. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Bank of Indianapolis needs some help.
It's absolutely packed. Apparently, there are like 70,000 people packed in.
God.
So, yeah, and they're all wanting to get the new releases, and they're all gamers.
Maybe you need a stand there, Peter.
Yeah, I think I just wandered around with my T-shirt on.
And get recognised and
Hand out.
mobbed by crowds of frenzied fans
yes.
wanting autographs
It'd be like the Beatles,
and
wouldn't it?
selfies.
Yeah. It's like, look, it's...
What's
Who is
his
that
name
guy?
again?
I don't know.
Universal Dog.
Esoteric Order of something. I don't know. Anyway, so hopefully, or maybe I'll run a Kickstarter campaign and everyone can pay to send me over there.
Actually, what would be really funny is if we both went and everybody came and said, "Look, it's Will!" No! Elbow you aside.
My worst nightmare. Oh, that'd be horrible.
We're going now.
Oh, no. Yeah. And then they're just hanging off you. Oh, get out of the way.
Oh, my fans.
Yeah, okay. It's like someone's going to start a campaign to do that now.
Yeah, excellent. It's probably only $2,000. In the time that Peter was spending painting this number of figures, I managed to paint the new air pack for Memoir 44, which is about 12 200th scale aircraft. Still haven't finished them.
12 aircraft.
I stopped when I decided I needed decals, so I had to order decals, and I thought there's no point in continuing until I get the decals. The decals have arrived, and I have yet to finish them.
The question I do have you played that new Memoir 44?
With the airplanes in it?
Yeah.
Yes, I think I have. I did do one game.
No? What do you think?
Yeah, it was good.
Because I've got the old version over there. But
Yeah, they cleaned up some of the old version. They had this rules about having to land and take off and refuel. They've got rid of all that. Now you bring a plane on, it stays on like a normal piece.
Yep.
The only thing that's still a bit weird about it is that it acts as terrain, so you can't move through it. So they're calling this interdiction.
Can't move through planes.
No, you can't move through enemy planes.
But they're up there.
Yeah, well, the theory is that you don't go around where the planes are because they'll bomb you, which is probably not unreasonable.
Yeah,
But it does have a pretty concrete effect.
Yeah, and I would have thought during the war a lot of people were under planes, whether they liked it or not.
I think that's the point they're trying to reflect.
Okay.
But yeah, it's good. It's a good system, and the models are beautiful. They're not pre-painted, as I said. You have to paint them. But yeah, it's an interesting addition. I wouldn't use it in every game.
No.
But yeah,
No, good.
it's good.
I've remembered something else I want to talk about, and that is Blood on the Clocktower. Now, you may have heard about this social deduction game. It's had a very, very popular Kickstarter, and it's done by an Australian company, and they've been showing it at conventions worldwide for a while now, and it got a very glowing review from Shut Up and Sit Down. It's a bit like Werewolf, which I don't think you've ever played.
No, I haven't.
Which is where you get a whole group of people together in a room and you try and deduce who the murderer is. In this case, everyone has multiple roles as well, so everyone has special abilities and there's all interactions between those abilities, and it's been really popular. People love it. And I'm very proud to announce that I've been commissioned to do the graphic design for the final version of that.
Half your luck.
So everything you've seen so far has been sort of a test version of the graphic design done by the publishers themselves, and now they've brought me in to do the final work on it. And they have really strong, great ideas about how they want this to look. It's going to be very lush and gothic with a bit of sort of Tim Burton kind of feel in there as well. So I'm really looking forward to getting my teeth into doing that design.
Just as long as the body text isn't gothic.
No, I would never do that, Will.
I know you wouldn't.
No.
Others would, though.
No. Talking about typography, as we just were.
Yes. One of my favourite topics.
I recently did a podcast for Dan and Mike at Sporadically Bored, and it was huge fun, and we talked a lot about typography and graphic design in board games and a whole lot of other stuff as well.
Yeah, it's worth a listen. Where can you find that?
I'll put a note in the show notes so you can go check that out. That's the second podcast I've done, and I think I did 2 in the last month, which is fantastic. It's great talking to other gamers, and occasionally I also get offers of staying at their place when I can go to Gen Con or something.
Oh, Peter.
Yes, I think... No. In a gaming fashion.
Yeah, of course.
Mike invited me over to stay with him when I go to Gen Con, and I've got a couple of other people who can hook me up.
No accommodation costs.
No, fantastic. So it's great fun to do, and go and check it out, because I talk a lot about graphic design in board games. I'm also working on some other graphic design jobs for board games, working on cross-cut games. They've got one coming called Empire of the Stars, which is a reimagining of their game Galactic Emperor, which is up there, Galactic Emperor.
You found it. How about
Yep.
that?
How's that? Bang! Just like that.
And that wasn't staged.
Yeah, it wasn't, no. Working on that, and also I'm doing one for Ares, which I can't tell you about yet, but that's an exciting one as well. So doing a lot of game graphic design at the moment, which is lots of fun. Well, folks, the time has come. That's the end of another Action Points episode.
Yes, it's been a busy month for you, hasn't it?
It has indeed, and mostly because of you. Yes, the pressure is unbelievable. It's like, Will's coming for the first time in 8 months. I have to have all this ready for him.
And I don't even just have to say anything. He just imposes this upon himself.
Yeah.
It's magic.
And it's, it's fun, but it's hard work as well, which in fact is the, if you've seen the Latin tagline for the Esoteric Order of Gamers, it's basically working makes play better. Work makes play better. There you go. Oh, look. Labor, lucem, meliorat. So put a bit of effort in and your games would be the more fun. I mean, imagine playing Joan of Arc with unpainted figures.
Yeah, look at it. It would be ridiculous.
It would be. Look.
Better still, find yourself a gaming buddy who puts all the effort in so that you can come and enjoy it.
Yeah, it's a good point, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I do the same thing back in Australia. I've got lots of games like this painted and people will come and play them and marvel at them and say, where do you find the time? I say, well, actually, a really good question. Where do you find the time?
Yes, well, I don't have kids, you see. This makes a bit of a difference, doesn't it?
It does make a bit of difference.
Yes. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, folks. And of course, you're looking at the Esoteric Order of Gamers. The main website is at orderofgamers.com, but the channel is also on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Sign up for those. Also go to the website and sign up for the newsletter, because if you get the newsletter once a month, you'll find out everything that's happened in the previous month. And of course,
let's not forget, all of these games and all of this paint doesn't come for free, so if you want to go to Patreon and support Peter in his efforts, I'm sure he will greatly appreciate it. You can go to Patreon and put in ranges of donations from very small to quite large.
Yes, there are reward tiers as well, so you can get extra videos, you can get special thank yous from the two of us, you can get thank yous from me. There's all kinds of stuff there, and also you can be part of the Esoteric Order of Gamers gaming community, and everybody who signs up gets an official certificate.
Plus, let's not forget, on Esoteric Order of Gamers, orderofgamers.com, there are hundreds and hundreds of reference sheets, which you cannot play these games without them. I don't know how people do it, or why they would even attempt it, to be perfectly honest.
We do have it for these new games as well. When I say we, I made them, but just want to make that clear, Will. I don't want you to take any unnecessary credit.
No.
We've got one for Joan of Arc and Warcry and all the games we've played over this weekend. Go to the website and download those rule summaries for your own use.
Yeah, it'll change your life.
So that's it, folks. Thank you very much for watching. Oh, by the way, I should also point out that Joan of Arc have another Kickstarter campaign happening. They're redoing the rule book, but they're also giving people an opportunity to buy into it if they missed it the first time.
And it's very tempting.
That is, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. All the painting.
Yes, all that painting again. And we were just saying, painting this is like doing Battle Lore all over again.
It is. And not only did I do Battle Lore, I did original Battle Lore, second edition
Battle Lore,
Battles of Westeros.
Oh, the horror.
Yeah, a lot of painting in that scale, actually, but it's worth it. Great games. They're all good games, really.
Yeah, they are.
Except maybe second edition.
Not so much a fan of second edition.
No, not so much a fan. That's it, folks. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you, Will, for coming along and joining me.
Thank you, Peter, for having me.
I'd love to have you on more Action Points, so you're going to have to get over here. And don't forget to bring the whiskey with you.
We need another Kickstarter campaign to fund more airfares.
Yes. Or, could be a job.
Yeah, it could be a job.
Yeah. So, hopefully you'll be enjoying the battle reports. They'll be coming up very soon for you to have a look at. And we have a pretty good time and a bit of a laugh, and I hope you do too. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time at the Esoteric Order of Gamers. Bye for now.
Bye now.